Speedway Sedans Live, proudly produced by Ash Media Speedway Footage. Brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia, Adam Holt Industries, Campton Graphics and Signage, Cool Drive Distribution, Jules Furniture and Removalists, EB Graphics, Highline Racewear and Team Apparel, Mantle Racewear, Pro One Race Parts, Speedway Sedans Queensland and Speedway Sedans Western Australia. Into the main straight they come. Matt Hammond and Neville Nitschke get the green lights. We're away and Matt Hammond didn't go. And we got one in the fence. As a result, all got squashed up in the fence. Hammond's got going now as he now dives to the inside, but Neville Nitschke has the lead. Matt Hammond's every which way but loose as they head down the back straight, and it's spread eagle. The field's something chronic. We've got Neville Nitschke out in front. Second place is Robbie Foe on his outside, and coming with a straight of knots is Gardner. He hit the fence a lap ago. Back then to Jason DeGoldie. Evan Wakefield's up to fifth. Matt Hammond's got mobile now in sixth place, then 104 Donna Vanzetti, and they're going pretty quickly as they head down the back straight. Neville Nitschke out in front. Second place is now Gardner. Back then to Robbie Foe. They're all running up near the concrete wall. Back then to Jason DeGoldie in fourth place, 21.740. Back then to Evan Wakefield in fifth. Sixth place is Matt Hammond, then 104 Donna Vanzetti. 89 is next Andrew Jordan, then Kerry Weston, Rod Berry, Josephine Thompson and Nathan Dunn. Down out of turn 3 and 4, Neville Nitschke is your race leader. Second place is that of Robbie Foe. Third place is the 38 car of Mark Gardner, then Jason DeGoldie, Evan Wakefield. Still obviously a little bit greasy, the times in the 21 second bracket. Back then to Matt Hammond, Kerry Weston, Andrew Jordan. Back then to Josephine Thompson at the tail. But Neville Nitschke leads after 4. Has 8 laps to go here in heat number 11 of the national title. And he's blown the back doors off them. Back in second place, 115 Robbie Foe. Mark Gardner third, then Jason DeGoldie and Evan Wakefield. Those 4 are fighting for second, third, fourth and fifth. Back then to Kerry Weston. Back then to Matt Hammond, who's going backwards as Robbie Foe has second place from Gardner. Up in fourth is Jason DeGoldie, and Evan Wakefield makes it a row of 3 as they come into the main straight. Wakefield gets underneath of DeGoldie and gets underneath of Gardner as well as they go into turn number 1. Out in front though, Neville Nitschke does the quick lap of the race at 21.7. He's coming up on the back markers. Dare I say it, we're 6 laps down without a stoppage here at AMP in heat number 11 as Nitschke comes up on the back end of Josephine Thompson. Second place is Robbie Foe. Third place is Evan Wakefield, who's come from position number 5 and has now made his way up to third. He's had to work for it. Back then to Gardner and to Goldie. Kerry Weston is 6th as Neville Nitschke now starts to lap the back markers on lap number 7. Into the main straight he comes, 5 laps to go in heat number 11 of the national title. Will it go the distance? Robbie Foe, Wakefield, Gardner and DeGoldie. A long gap back then to Kerry Weston. The next one through after that would be Matt Hammond, then Andrew Jordan. Our race leader comes out of 3 and 4 once again. 4 laps to go in heat number 11. It could go the distance. We'll have to wait and see. Evan Wakefield now comes underneath of Robbie Foe. Jason DeGoldie does the same on Gardner as they move up the main straight and underneath the time clock. Our race leader is in the middle of the back straight. He's coming up to lap another car. It looks like Rod Berry on this occasion. They come out of turn 3 and 4. Right round the outside he comes on the 72 of Rod Berry from the Northern Territory. Meanwhile, Kerry Weston's done the quick lap of the race at 21.235. Neville Nitschke has 3 laps to go. Second place is still Robbie Foe. Right behind him is Evan Wakefield. Jason DeGoldie's moved to 4th and Mark Gardner back to 5th as our race leader comes back into the main straight with 2 laps to go. We've done 10 consecutive laps. We haven't done that for quite a while. He's coming up now behind 104 Donna Vanzetti and also Andrew Jordan. Second place still up for dispute. Robbie Foe has been passed now by Evan Wakefield. Back to DeGoldie and then back in 5th place it's Mark Gardner. White flag comes out. 1 lap of AMP to go. We've done 11 consecutive laps. Wakefield in second. Back then to Robbie Foe, DeGoldie and the 38 car of Mark Gardner. Then Kerry Weston. We're half a lap away from getting a 12 lap time. Come on, race fans, put your hands together. Finally, we've got one in the books. The first one that's gone the distance. Heat 11 goes to Neville Nitschke. Neville Nitschke first home. Second is going to be Evan Wakefield. Third across the line, Robbie Foe. Then back to Jason Nagoldi. The 38 car of Mark Gardner and Kerry Weston. There we have the time on the time clock, 4 minutes 24.98 for the 12 laps. The winning margin was 5.397 seconds, and the quick lap was by...
And it's back to Mick Clark.
Thanks, guys. We get this one underway. We're not wasting any time. And the race leader is Daniel Amajuri, Ricky Throckmorton. And on the outside is a three-way go as they come out of turn 3 and 4. Amajuri on the outside, Throckmorton on the inside, Paul Hayes in the middle. And right there with him is the 48 of Mick Clark as they head up into the top turn, still 3 abreast. Amajuri right up there in the crowd on the outside as they move out of turn number 2. It's Throckmorton, Amajuri and Hayes. Right behind them is Mick Clark, and then back to 21 car of Mark Jennings, who's made his way to 5th. The track now in fantastic racing condition, and it's 182 out in front. Ricky Throckmorton, Hayes, Amajuri, Clark and Jennings, the 5 of them locked together. Jennings has just done the quick lap of the race. Dean Jenkins back in 6th. Back then to Peter Thompson and Jamie Crutchley. It's a race in 5 at the moment though. Ricky Throckmorton out in front. Paul Hayes is in 2nd place. On the outside, Amajuri. On the inside, Mick Clark, and also there is Mark Jennings. Back to Jenkins in 6th place. Ricky Throckmorton does the quick lap of the race at 21.07. He skips away. Back in 2nd place, it's Hayes. 3rd place, Mick Clark. Then Amajuri's just been passed by Jennings, the 1995 champion. Back in 6th place, Dean Jenkins as they come out of turn 4 yet again. Throckmorton, Hayes, Jennings, Clark, Amajuri back into Jenkins in 6th. 7th place at this stage, Peter Thompson. Then Megan Forrest in 114. Then to 25 at Jamie Crutchley, Corey Knox and Matthew Glabb at the tail as they come out of 3 and 4 yet again. Heat 12 of the National Street Stock title, and it's Ricky Throckmorton out in front. Hayes in 2nd. On the outside, Jennings. The inside, Clark. Back into Amajuri in 5th, 20.87 that time around. This is heat number 12 of N13 on your program. Hayes at 20.655 is the quickest car on track, and he's throwing down the challenge now to Ricky Throckmorton. 6 down and 6 to go. Matthew Glabb's about to be passed by the lead 4 cars as they dive inside and outside, or maybe not even inside and outside, maybe right through the back end. One of the 4 leading cars has gone up in smoke. That's Paul Hayes. He's still behind Throckmorton. Here comes Mark Jennings. Also Clark is there and Amajuri as Hayes comes underneath of Throckmorton. Now Jennings comes underneath of Hayes. Clark is there and so too Amajuri underneath the time clock. 22.46 that last time around as they go up into the top turn. Hayes is out of noise, I suspect, and he's going back through the field. Down the back straight now, Jennings is the main challenger. He comes out at 3 and 4. He's up behind. Oh, we got one that's going in the wrong direction. Over on turn number 2, the yellow lights have come on, and we've got a stoppage. 4 laps to go, and an exciting race in progress. Paul Hayes set for the restart. Away. And Mark Jennings is all over the back end of Ricky Throckmorton as they go into the top turn the first time on the restart with 5 laps to go as they head down the back straight. It's a race in 2 between Throckmorton and Jennings. Throckmorton was the pole car in this event. Jennings started out of position number 7 as they moved down into the main straight with 4 laps to go. Throckmorton and Jennings. And Mick Clark is there as well. Clark looking for a way through, and Jennings as they head down the back straight. Back in 4th place is Daniel Amajuri as they move out of 3 and 4. There'll be 3 laps to go. Jenkins takes an excursion. They're in 5th place as Jennings closes yet again on our race leader. Ricky Throckmorton just in front. Mark Jennings there in 2nd place. As they come out of 3 and 4, there'll be 2 laps to go this time around. They've dispensed it with Mick Clark on this occasion. Down the main drag, it's a race in 2. Throckmorton just ahead of Jennings. Here comes Clark yet again as they move down into turn number 2. Down the back straight. They'll come up for the white flag. 1 lap of AMP to go. Heat 12 of the national title. Out in front, it's Ricky Throckmorton. Second place, Jennings, Clark. A gap back to Amagiri in fourth. Half a lap to go. Ricky Throckmorton just in front. Mark Jennings giving it one last go. A photo finish coming up. Throckmorton by a car length. Jennings second, Mick Clark third. Amagiri in fourth, Megan Forrest up against the fence fifth. Then Jenkins sixth, then back to Peter Thompson and Corey Knox. Next to complete the race will be Paul Hayes, then Jamie Crutchley and Matthew Glad. 1 minute 42.41 for the last 5 laps. The winning margin was 0.22.
Of John Riley as they go green. Thanks, Sky. They're away in heat number 13 of the national title as they go up into the top turn, and there's plenty of action there. Matthew Atkinson and Brooke Ferguson. Atkinson takes the lead as they move down the back straight. Ferguson goes back into third place. I think it's Travis Hutchison who's moving to second from Queensland. Ferguson still high, wide and handsome as it's Hutchison on the back end of Matthew Atkinson. Stephen Watts moves to third. Ferguson back to fourth. Jacob Mills, Australia 2 in production stance, now moves to fourth. Ferguson back to fifth. As they head down the back straight, then it looks as though it could be Chris Stewart in the 29. As they go down into turn 3 and 4, it's Matthew Atkinson from Tasmania out in front. On the low line, it's Hutchison, then Stephen Watts, Jacob Mills is next, then Brooke Ferguson, Chris Stewart, Dylan Campton, John Riley from Tasmania is the next one through. So they go underneath the time clock. The last time around at 20.459. It's Matthew Atkinson out in front from Tassie. Second place from Queensland is Travis Hutchison. Moving into third place now is Jacob Mills. Stephen Watts back to fourth. All over the back end of the 183. Brooke Ferguson is Chris Stewart. And the lead 4 cars are very close indeed. Here goes Jacob Mills underneath the 75 car and moves into second place. Hutchison back to third. Mills has done the quick lap of the race at 20.0 the last time around. This time it's Atkinson though who leads. Mills does the new quick lap at 19.97. The leader did a 20.34 as you can see on the time clock. It's Atkinson, Mills, Hutchison, Watts. Back in 5th place it's Brooke Ferguson, then Chris Stewart. As they move out of 3 and 4 yet again. 5 down and 7 to go. And Matthew Atkinson just in front of Jacob Mills. Mills now looks to the inside up there in turn number 1. Atkinson on the outside. Mills the inside. They level up as they make their way to the back straight. Back to Travis Hutchison from Queensland. 4th place is Stephen Watts, then Brooke Ferguson. Around the outside of Ferguson now comes Chris Stewart as the 1-1-1 takes the lead. Jacob Mills drives right past the 135 of Matt Atkinson and drives away. The margin is already out over a second. Back to Travis Hutchison, Stephen Watts and Chris Stewart. Further back we've got Brooke Ferguson, Dylan Campton, John Riley, Corey Greening in 9th place and Moss Buchanan and Trey Ballantyne. 5 laps remain here at AMP. Heat number 13 of the national title in the hands of 111. Jacob Mills back to Matthew Atkinson. 3rd place, a big gap to Travis Hutchison, then Stephen Watts as they start to spread themselves out. 4 laps to go. Heat 13 and Jacob Mills is driving right away in the 111. Back in 2nd place we've got Matthew Atkinson, then the 75 car of Travis Hutchison in 3rd place. Back in 4th place Stephen Watts, then Chris Stewart, Brooke Ferguson, then Dylan Campton. A long gap back then to John Riley and Corey Greening. They move out of 3 and 4 yet again. The lap's ticking by. 3 to go, 20 seconds even that time around for Jacob Mills. Matt Atkinson still second. Hutchison third. Stewart coming up on the outside now. Stephen Watts. That's the battle for 4th and 5th as they come out of under the time clock. 6th place is Ferguson, then Campton, Riley, Greening, then back to Buchanan and Ballantyne. 2 laps to go in Heat 13 of the national title. It's all 111. Jacob Mills, Atkinson in 2nd place, Hutchison 3rd. Passing flag comes out. The white flag comes out as well. 111 has 1 lap to go. Atkinson lapping Ballantyne as well. 3rd place, so 75 of Travis Hutchison, then Stephen Watts. But bring him home, race fans. Would you believe it? 2 of the last 3 races have gone the distance. First across the line, put your hands together for Jacob Mills. Second to Matthew Atkinson. Travis Hutchison will be 3rd.
fourth across the line will be 5 of Stephen Watts, then the 29 of Chris Stewart, Brooke Ferguson, then Dylan Campton. Further back in the field, John Riley was 8th, then Corey Greening, Moss Buchanan and Trey Ballantyne. 4 minutes 2.95 was the time for race number 13, or heat number 13, event 14 on your program. It's Jacob Mills, Matthew Atkinson, Travis Hutchison, your top three. Jacob Mills did the quick lap at 19.717 and he won by 4.4 seconds.
V122 of Corey Sando, the W76 of Hayden Norman, Cody Heinrich and Ethan Geneva running the out to start this one. Thanks very much, Kai. Doing a great job squeezing them all in as quick as we can. Reese Heinrich is your race leader as they head out at turn number 2 the first time. There's a traffic jam further back. Look at them go. 3 wide further back, but it's Heinrich, the national champion, who leads them through the first lap. It's a Heinrich Quinella at the moment. Back in 3rd place, it's Scott Purdy. Back in 4th place, a little bit of trouble here. One car has gone around James Jameson. He's facing the flag stand at the moment. The car's still mobile. Race continues for the moment. Now the yellow lights have come on and now he drives away.
Away, the greens are on. Reese Heinrich leads, Bailey Heinrich in second, Scott Purdy third, Peter Walker in 4th place as they head up underneath the time clock the first time, going clockwise yet again. Back in 5th place would be Jason Foe, then Tony Prideaux, Corey Sandow's in that group as well as they move out of 3 and 4. 1 down on the restart, so now 2 down and 10 to go. Scott Purdy's been passed by 181 Peter Walker. The 47 of Jason Foe is in 5th place and Corey Sandow. Hayden Norman's in that group. Oh, Scott Purdy went very wide up there. Oh, we got another one in the fence. Another one. 2 of them have gone in the fence. The 11 car of James Jameson drives away. Look at the action further back in the field here. It's on for young and old, but out in front it's Reese Heinrich. Bailey Heinrich in second. Ethan Geneva is out of the race. He hit the fence and his bumper's up against the wall. And a lot of damage to the front end of that. In fact, it's not a bumper, it's the bonnet. Well, the bonnet's missing. I think it's a bumper up there as well. Meanwhile, the race continues. It's Reese Heinrich, Bailey Heinrich. Back in third, it's Peter Walker, then Jason Foe. 5th place would be, looks like Corey Sandow, then Hayden Norman, Morris Ahern, Scott Purdy. As the race continues with Reese Heinrich out in front, 5 down and 7 to go. Bailey Heinrich, Peter Walker. 4th place is Jason Foe. Back then in 5th position would be Corey Sandow. Hayden Norman in 6th place as they move down the back straight yet again. This is heat 14 of the national title. 6 down and 6 to go. Reese Heinrich, Bailey Heinrich, Peter Walker, Sandow, Hayden Norman, Jason Foe, Morris Ahern, then back to Scott Purdy in 8th. 9th place is Cody Heinrich, so all 3 Heinrichs in the one race, and then Tony Prideaux at the tail. But it's Reese Heinrich out in front, the national champion. 2nd place, the 86 car of Bailey Heinrich. Peter Walker 3rd, Corey Sandow is next. Right behind him is Hayden Norman and also Jason Foe. Morris Ahern is next, and then Scott Purdy. 7 down and 5 to go. It's now 8 down and 4 to go. So our leader is back with us yet again. Reese Heinrich in front. 2nd place, Bailey Heinrich. 3rd place is still anybody's with Peter Walker from WA. Victorian 1-2-2, Corey Sandow. The West Australian Hayden Norman in 5th. Another Victorian, Jason Foe in 6th. Back to Morris Ahern in 7th. Scott Purdy has 8th place sewn up, and then back then to Cody Heinrich and Tony Prideaux. Out of turn 4, the battle for 3rd place is anybody's. Sandow gets under Walker. Walker won a heat race earlier on tonight, so Sandow 3rd, Walker 4th. Back to Hayden Norman. The 47 car is next, which is Jason Foe. Then Morris Ahern, our leader's past us yet again. He's running on rails. He's out by 2 and a bit seconds. The last lap around was a 19.336, and the national champion is having a very, very good title so far. Reese Heinrich comes out of turn 4, has 1 lap to go as the white flag is on display. Reese Heinrich leads Bailey Heinrich in 2nd place. Corey Sandow 3rd. Peter Walker 4th. Back then to Hayden Norman, Jason Foe and Morris Ahern. Then back to Scott Purdy. He's in 8th place, and right behind him now is the 63 of Cody Heinrich. But put your hands together, AMP. It's another win for the national champion. First across the line, Reese Heinrich takes the win. Second place, Bailey Heinrich. Then Corey Sandow will get up for third, just ahead of Peter Walker. Fifth place will be Hayden Norman, Jason Foe, Morris Ahern and Scott Purdy. And then back to Cody Heinrich in ninth place. So it's the first win of the night for the national champion, but he's having a good time.
All right, thanks very much, Reese. Unfortunately, no time for Kai. We'll go straight upstairs to Jason.
Yes, we missed the grips for this one. We're away. It's the next heat is underway. It's heat number 15. And it's a pretty good start to for all concerned as they move out of turn 1 and 2 the first time. And down the back straight, there's some charges coming too. From further back in the field, Peter Dowie is one of those who's made up several spots. One car, plenty of smoke building out the back end. 91, Darren Brumfield is the leader from Jack Barnwell in second place. Casey Staker from New South Wales is third. Peter Dowie was in fourth. Andy Maxwell Jr. has gone up there into fourth place now as they head down the back straight. But it's a race in two out in front. It's Brumfield in the 91 and the 16 of Jack Barnwell. Oh! 132 comes storming through the middle there of Corey Bald and Peter Dowie. Leapt up on two wheels and split the scene. Further back, John Stoward, Luke Williams, the Tasmanian champion in 8th spot. Back then to Keenan Richards, Jared Babbitt, Adrian Wright and Marty Kelly. It's a race in two. Brumfield, plenty of smoke coming out of his car now. Jack Barnwell's taken up the lead. Back in third place, Casey Staker, Corey Baldwin.
Fourth. Andy Maxwell in fifth place. Trouble further back in the field for, I think it was Keenan Richards. We'll have to wait and see, but there's plenty of smoke on the racetrack. This isn't dust. This is white smoke, plumes of it from Darren Brumfield. As they go around the racetrack, I think there's another car billowing smoke as well, just to join in the party. It's Jack Barnwell out in front. Brumfield slowing dramatically. Yep, it's the car in about 6th or 7th place. It's the 71 of Luke Williams, also smoke pouring out the back end. I think you're at the Burnout Masters here at AMP, the way it's going with the white smoke everywhere. But Jack Barnwell is running on rails out in front of the halfway mark. Darren Brumfield still in second place. Third place, 177, Corey Bald. Then the 132 of Andy Maxwell Jr., Casey Staker. Luke Williams not running on all cylinders in 6th place. More white smoke plumes out the back. Back then to Peter Dowie. Our race leader is a mile in front. Darren Brumfield has been passed by 1, 2, 3 cars as Bald now moves to second. Maxwell Jr. to third. Staker to fourth. Back then in 5th place now is Brumfield. Williams has given up. The car is well and truly off the song now. Then back to Keenan Richards. Jared Mabbott is next after that, but here's our race leader. He could lap several cars with 4 laps to go. Second place is Corey Bald. Maxwell Jr. third. Staker fourth. Brumfield somehow remarkably still 5th. Peter Dowie 6th. Oh, the wheel is about to fall off Luke Williams' car. The right wheel is pointing right out of commission. So the rest of the field go past, including our race leader, who's in heavy traffic now, Jack Barnwell. He's got 4 cars ahead of him. The passing flag will be out yet again as he comes underneath Jared Mabbott. Keenan Richards in that group as well. He spins just about Keenan Richards. Around the outside comes Mabbott. Our race leader's got 2 to go. Jack Barnwell is a long, long way in front. Underneath the time clock, here's second place. 6.5 seconds behind Corey Bald and Andy Maxwell Jr. A gap back to New South Wales 53, Casey Staker, and then Darren Brumfield has given up the ghost. He's gone back another spot. Peter Dowie now 5th. Marty Kelly making his way through. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for our race leader. He's lapped quite a few cars in this one. He's a long way in front, nearly 7 seconds from Kalgoorlie in Western Australia. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. First across the line is Jack Barnwell. And he's given them a good old hiding too. He's won by a long, long way. Here's second place, 177, Corey Bald. Right behind him is Andy Maxwell Jr. Casey Staker is 4th, then Peter Dowie 5th. Behind them will be Marty Kelly, Jared Mabbott. There was only 5 cars Sorry, yeah, 5 cars on the lead lap there. Jack Barnwell lapped up to 5th place. The time for the race, 3 minutes, 59.12. It's the first race to go under 4 minutes. Bald was second, Maxwell Jr. third. The margin was 6.6 seconds and a 19.524 to Jack Barnwell.
All about set to go, away and racing. Jaden Dredge missed the start, and around the outside goes Jace Kempton from Western Australia. He leads this one through at this stage as they head out of turn 2, and Jaden Dredge has gone back 1, 2, 3 spots as they head down the back straight the first time. Out in front, Jace Kempton. Damon Thompson from WA in second. Third place is the 124 Ben Riley. Dredge in fourth, then Darren Forrest, Wayne Shearman. Then back to Jaden Edwards. Jason Jules made up a couple of spots. Then back to Scott Merritt. And then Matthew Seidel and David Misson. A good battle for second and third now between Thompson and Ben Riley. Riley moves to second. Thompson back to third. Forrest to fourth. Jaden Dredge back to fifth. Jaden Edwards is sixth. Jason Jewell in 7th place as they move underneath the time prop. 19.85 that time around. Ben Riley made a bit of a mistake, and Damon Thompson from WA moves back on his outside as they come out of 3 and 4. But Chase Kempton is in another postcode. He's already opened up a commanding lead after 3 laps. It's over 3 seconds. Back in fourth is Darren Forrest, then Jaden Dredge. Jaden Edwards, Jason Jewell, Wayne Shearman is next, then Scott Merritt, Matthew Seidel and David Misson. But out in front, Chase Kempton has done 4, has 8 to go, has 1 has spun, Ben Riley has spun in front of the field, the main body of the field, Thompson got around him, the green lights remain on, and Ben Riley's going to wait for a restart. He's moving the car slowly, he's playing chicken with the officials, they've put on the yellow lights now, and we've got ourselves a stoppage. Out of turn 4 they come. Away and racing. Chase Kempton leads them up into the top turn. Back in second place it's Damon Thompson, then Darren Forrest. Jaden Dredge in 4th place as they head down the back straight and into turn 3. This first lap on the restart going clockwise. Chase Kempton, Thompson. On the inside of Thompson is Darren Forrest. Jaden Dredge right behind them, then Jaden Edwards has moved up into 5th place, and Jason Jewell is there in 6th place as they move down the back straight yet again, and it's on for young and old here in heat number 16 of the national title. As anyone can win this at this stage. Damon Thompson's gone back through the field. Jason Jewell's come from position 12 up to 5. Chase Kempton did have a big lead, not anymore. As they head down the back straight, Darren Forrest is in 2nd place. As they head down into turn number 3, Forrest started out of 5. Jaden Dredge is there in 3rd. Jaden Edwards in 4th place. He started out of 9, has moved up quite a few spots. Then Jason Jewell. Damon Thompson is next. Wayne Shearman, then Scott Merritt, Ben Riley, Matthew Seidel and David Misson. Down the back straight, Chase Kempton starts to open up a bit of a gap. Darren Forrest in 2nd place. Back in 3rd is Jaden Dredge in car number 13. Jaden Edwards right behind him and Jason Jewell. Damon Thompson is next, then Wayne Shearman as they head up into the top turn. That was a 19.6 that time around. Chase Kempton has done a quick time of 19.365, which is as quick as anyone's been this weekend. Into the main straight he comes. Out of turn 4, has 4 laps to go. It's a 19.341 that time by Chase Kempton. That's the quickest time we've had, and it's Darren Forrest doing the chasing, but he's getting further and further behind. Dredge in 3rd, back to Jaden Edwards in 4th place. 5th place is Jason Jewell, then Damon Thompson. Wayne Shearman is next. Chase Kempton crosses the line this time with a 19.575. Darren Forrest in 2nd place. Back then to Jaden Dredge, Jaden Edwards, Jason Jewell and Damon Thompson. They're pretty closely bunched up for 3rd through about 6th place. Our race leader comes out of 4 though. Into the main straight. The 56 of Chase Kempton has 2 to run. That time around was a 19.529. Darren Forrest in 2nd. Jaden Edwards looks to the outside of Jaden Dredge. Behind the pair of them is another J. It's Jason Jewell in 5th place. Back then to Damon Thompson in 6th. Then Wayne Shearman 7th. Ben Riley, Scott Merritt, Matthew Seidel and David Misson about to be passed by a race leader who gets the white flag. A 19.9 that time around by Jace Kempton. Second place Darren Forrest, then Jaden Dredge. On the outside of Dredge is Jaden Edwards, and behind the pair of them is Jason Jewell. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. He comes out at turn number 4, and it's a win to car number 56 from Western Australia. First home Jace Kempton, Darren Forrest is second, third is Jaden Dredge, Jaden Edwards, Jason Jewell, 101 Damon Thompson, then Ben Riley, Wayne Shearman, Scott Merritt, Matthew Seidel and David Misson, and we've got a car on fire big time. We've got a car well and truly alight over on the back straight. It's the 169 of Wayne Shearman. 2 minutes 58.54 for the last 9 laps. 2.183 was the winning margin. The fire has put itself out.
One more round of heats to go tonight as we get ourselves set and away. 144, Jared Wilkinson and Sean Henry lead them up the main straight. They're 3 wide. Anthony Bear is squashed up in the fence. He rode the wall for a while. They're 4 wide. Paul Briggs got a dream run through into second. Third place is a 7 of Craig Buchanan, and the pink and white car will be livid now. He comes back around the outside of the 24 of Brad McClure. Well, it's deja vu from 2 seasons ago. They ran that close on lap number 40 of the national title, and Anthony Bear's car has stopped. He has gone right back through the field and is going to be, did not finish. He's going to be OUT out as they come into the main straight. It's Sean Henry out in front from Paul Briggs. The 7 car of Craig Buchanan. Anthony Bear is 4th, and Anthony Bear has not got the car off the track and has brought on the caution lights, and we'll have a stoppage in heat number 17. Oh, big news story here. Anthony Bear rode the wall up there when they were 4 wide underneath the time clock, and the 46 car has stopped at the end of the back straight. That's 112 Lee Gooding. Paul Briggs is showing on the time clock as the timing monitor is doing 4 laps to everyone else's 3. That's been sorted now, so back underway. So Briggs leads from Henry, Buchanan and McClure. Matthew Maynard in 5th place was the big benefactor there because he was tacked well behind the lead 4 cars. So Paul Briggs leads out of turn 4 into the main straight. Sean Henry is 2nd. Here comes McClure under Buchanan. Couldn't get the job done there. Back then to Matthew Maynard. Felicity Roycroft is next. So Paul Briggs leads as they head down the back straight with 7 laps to go this time around. They'll come up 5 down and 7 remaining. Paul Briggs out in front. Here comes Buchanan. And Brad McClure makes a horrendous mistake. He doesn't make those. And he got very, very sideways, and Matthew Maynard had nowhere to go and right into the side of him. And you very rarely see a spin by Brad McClure. He was 3/4 the way around, and Matthew Maynard had nowhere to go. And we've got another stoppage, 4 down, it says. They've only done 4 laps, so I'm not quite sure what the story is here. But the race is about to get back underway. Paul Briggs leads up the main straight. They've done 4 laps according to the timing monitor, and it says 7 laps to go. As they head down the back straight once again, our race leader is Paul Briggs. Second place is Sean Henry. And right behind them is Craig Buchanan. So they come into the main straight and complete lap number 5. And our race leader is Paul Briggs from Sean Henry and Craig Buchanan. It's on for young and old here, so 5 down. And I'm not sure if it's 6 or 7 laps remaining. It's a 12-lap race. There'll be 7 laps to go. Paul Briggs is out in front. I think we're getting it sorted now that we have. So there'll be 6 to go this time around. It's Briggs in front. Buchanan snuck up into second place. Sean Henry is in third as we've got half the race done and half the race to go. Back in fourth place is Felicity Roycroft, then Matthew Maynard. Lee Gooding is next, and then Brad McClure tucked away in 7th. Paul Briggs has split the scene, skipped a few car lengths clear of Craig Buchanan and Sean Henry. Henry on the outside of Buchanan, fights back into second place. So the 33 back into second. Third place is car 7 of Craig Buchanan. Paul Briggs' lead is back to about 3 car lengths. 7 laps down and 5 laps to go. Well, the 144 of Jared Wilkinson doesn't sound too flash. As they come into the main straight, plenty of smoke pouring out of the 7 now. It's Paul Briggs in front by 3 car lengths. Back to Sean Henry, Craig Buchanan. Lee Gooding is 4th. Then back to Brad McClure in 5th place, Felicity Roycroft. Matthew Maynard is 3rd last. Back to Jared Wilkinson and Melissa Crutchley. Well, Paul Briggs' lead is back to 2 car lengths now as Craig Buchanan spins himself out. Puts the car in reverse, drives away from the scene of the crime, and he's going to go right back through the field now. Back to our race leader, Sean Henry is right up behind Paul Briggs now. 2.5 laps left to go into turn 3 and 4. Briggs now comes up behind Melissa Crutchley into the main straight. Sean Henry in second place is giving great chase. There's just 2 laps remaining. Briggs gets underneath of Crutchley, but he went in pretty heavy. Back then to Sean Henry in second place. A long way back then to Brad McClure. Lee Gooding is 4th. Felicity Roycroft and Matthew Maynard are the top 6. The white flag comes out. They're homeward bound in heat number 17 of the national title. And it's Paul Briggs who leads from Western Australia. Victorian Sean Henry in second place. Brad McClure is 3rd, back in 4th place. It will be Lee Gooding, then Felicity Roycroft. As he moves down the back straight for the last time, it's going to be Paul Briggs in car number 12. He's going to win only just, but a win's a win. And Paul Briggs from Western Australia has taken it out. Second place is 33, Sean Henry. Third place will be 24, Brad McClure. Fourth place will be 112, Lee Gooding. 65, Felicity Roycroft. Matthew Maynard, Craig Buchanan recovered, got 7th. Jared Wilkinson, Melissa Crutchley, and Anthony Baird did not finish. Put your hands together in the main straight for Paul Briggs here in car number 92. First home in heat number 17. He wins by 0.669 of a second. And Brad McClure set the quick lap of the race in 19.521. Paul Briggs first, Sean Henry second, and Brad McClure third. And also winning a heat race, Jack Barnwell, the last 3. Going to have their hands full to win this one unless Michael Hammond does it. They're 4 wide down there. Trouble. This is going to... they all got out of it, but the yellow lights came on. I'm not sure if the stewards were happy with the start or what, or they were preempting what could have been done. Hope you're enjoying the coverage at home or here at the track. Good crowd in watching the Friday night heats here at AMP. The green lights are on. They're away. Oh, trouble here at the start. Look out. Well... car on the second row or third row, I have to watch a replay of this to try and work out exactly what happened, but Bob Wakefield got shunted from behind and pushed across the track into the back, into the outside row. Still 12 laps on the time clock. Event number 19. Heat number 18 of the national title. Grant Harris leads them down the main straight. Michael Hammond is in that lead group. They're 3 wide. Colin Peden is there, Kate Cox as well, and also Mick Dan. But Michael Hammond having a look through on the inside now of Grant Harris, who is the leader in car number 6. So move down the main straight back to Colin Peden, Kate Cox. Mick Dan is next. Then Chris Watmore in car number 42 is next. So head down the back straight. It's Grant Harris, though, out in front. Michael Hammond in second place. Hammond has a very, very quick car as they come out of turn number 4 and into the main straight. It's Grant Harris, though, who leads. Michael Hammond in second. Cox in third. Colin Peden, then Mick Dan. Back in 6th place is car 118 of Scott Seacombe. Then Wayne's Phosphorus is back there as well as Michael Hammond looks to the inside of Grant Harris. Harris fights back on the outside momentarily, but it's Michael Hammond who takes up the lead. Harris back to second, Cox third, back then to Peden. Dan, then 118 is next, which is Scott Seacombe, then Chris Watmore, Wayne Fosterus. As they head down out of 3 and 4 yet again, Michael Hammond out in front. Harris second, Cox third, fourth place 102 of Mick Dan. As our race leader skips away, a 19.016 by Michael Hammond. The last time around, as quick as anyone has gone this weekend. It is way quicker than anyone has gone this weekend by 0.3 of a second. Harris in second place, Cade Cox third with a 19.3 himself. Back in fourth is Mick Dan, then Colin Peden, but it's a runaway leader at the halfway mark. It's all Michael Hammond, and well, maybe a record might be on the cards as well. We'll have to have a look at the 12-lap time. Michael Hammond out in front, Harris second, Cox, Dan, Peden. They're starting to spread themselves out. Cox is up behind Grant Harris. That's the battle for second and third as they move underneath the time clock and back into the main straight. Michael Hammond this time around does a 19.6. Harris and Cox close together. Cox dives to the inside. This is the battle for second. Back in fourth place, it's a 0 car of Mick Dan. Harris remains in second place from South Australia. Cade Cox there as well. Under the time clock they come as Michael Hammond has 8 down and 4 to go. A 19.4 this time around. Mick Dan in fourth place. Colin Peden fifth. Back in sixth place, it's 118 of Scott Seacombe, then Wayne Fosterus, Chris Watmore. Back then to Robert Smith and then Michael Hammond. So they come into the main straight with 3 to run. Harris still second, Cox third. Mick Dan slowly closing the gap, but I don't think he'll catch them within the distance. Michael Hammond's lead is out to 4 seconds as he rounds up the back markers underneath the time clock. He'll come into the main straight and have 2 laps to go, and he is absolutely in cruise control. 19.8 that time around. Harris in second. Right there with him is Cade Cox in the 27, and Mick Dan is closing. Michael Hammond will come out of turn 4 and greet the white flag here at AMP. 1 lap to go. The battle is for second and third though. Cox and Harris have got a couple of lap cars to negotiate, and Mick Dan has caught them both as they head down into turn number 1 and 2. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michael Hammond from WA. He's absolutely walloped them, and he has won the 4th race in a row by a West Australian. It's Michael Hammond first across the line. He wins by a long way. The last lap's a 19.6. Harris is second, Cox third, and fourth is 102, Mick Dan. The time for the race, look at that, 3 minutes 56.26, well under the 4 minute mark. 3:56.26 for the 12 laps. Grant Harris is second and Mick Dan
rounding out the field. Thanks, Kai. They're underway.
Good even dispatch up the main straight. Nigel Reichstein leads them through. It's a traffic jam further back. They're 3 and 4 wide underneath the time clock. Incidentally, that last race was still 10 seconds outside the track record. Must have been low flying the night they set that. As they move out of 4, Reichstein the leader. Look at the battle for second. 3 wide. Lenny Bates gets the way through on Eric Donaldson and Simon Spitzbath. Sneaking up the inside is Darren Giacometti. Matt Nelson's in that group as well, along with David Barry. As they head out of turn number 2, they move down the back straight and into 3 and 4. Nigel Reichstein will take some catching from here. Second place, Lenny Bates. And then it's a traffic jam for the Miners. Giacometti, Donaldson. Back there was also the 61 of Matt Nelson. Spitzbath is in that group as they're running 3 wide. Trouble further back here for Brendan Green in 45 as they head out of 3 and 4. Well, I said he's going to take some catching. Well, he has almost been caught, Nigel Reichstein, by Lenny Bates. Giacometti there in 3rd place. Melson is up to 4th. Donaldson then back in 6th is 119 Eugene Bennett. Ben Whitehead, Simon Spitzbath, David Barry, Cody Avens in that group. And then back then to Andrew Burgoyne. But it's a race in 2 out in front, and it's a good one too. Reichstein has been caught by Australia too, Lenny Bates. Bates dives to the inside underneath the time clock. The yellow lights have come on. We've got a problem at the other end of the track, and it includes car number 3 of Eric Donaldson, who seems to have got that underway. Heat 19 still has 9 laps to go. Away and racing. And Lenny Bates looks to the inside and takes the lead from Nigel Reichstein. Right there also Darren Giacometti and Matt Nelson. This is going to be a lungbuster of a finish. 4 very, very quick cars. Lenny Bates leads into the main straight from Reichstein. Giacometti, Nelson. Moving into 5th is Eugene Bennett. Then in 6th place is Ben Whitehead. David Barry right behind them as they go underneath the time clock. And it's Lenny Bates who done a 19.154. So the time of Michael Hammond. Oh, trouble for Giacometti. Spins in front of the field, gets out of harm's way. The time by Michael Hammond earlier on tonight was no fluke. A 19.154 by Lenny Bates. Right behind him is Reichstein. Back in 3rd place is Matt Nelson, then Eugene Bennett. And then further back in the field is Ben Whitehead and David Barry, and Giacometti needs a restart to catch them from here after spinning himself out in turn 4. Bates, Reichstein, Nelson. Then back in 4th is Eugene Bennett as they move down the main straight here at AMP. The race leader has a bit of a handy lead now. So they come out of 3 and 4. Lenny Bates out in front. He's just done a 19.130. Reichstein in 2nd. Matt Nelson 3rd. Back in 4th place. And going well is Eugene Bennett. As Lenny Bates will come out of turn number 4 and will have 4 laps to go. The race leader is Bates. Reichstein, Nelson. Back then in 4th place, Bennett, then Barry. Whitehead is next. So move out of turn 2 and down the back straight. In fact, coming out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 9, 3 to go. Reichstein giving great chase but hasn't been able to catch him yet. Back in 3rd place is Matt Nelson, then Eugene Bennett, David Barry. Our race leader has got 2 laps to go. Reichstein in 2nd, Nelson, Bennett, David Barry. Then back to Whitehead, Giacometti. Spitzbath is next. Then Cody Avens. Then Andrew Burgoyne, Eric Donaldson. Then the white flag, with Lenny Bates having 1 lap to go in heat number 19 of the national title here at AMP. Race number 20 in your program. He heads down the back straight. The final time comes up behind Eric Donaldson. Double checkered flags are out from Scott McIntosh downstairs, and first home is the 74. Lenny Bates first, Nigel Reichstein, then Matt Nelson, Eugene Bennett, David Barry and Ben Whitehead are your first 6. Back to Darren Giacometti, who spun mid-race. Simon Spitzbath is next. Cody Avens and Andrew Burgoyne. 2 minutes 56.38 for the last 9 laps. 1.328 was the winning margin, and it was Bates, Reichstein and Nelson, your top 3. As they move down the main straight, and out in front it's 88 of Nathan Barbler from Queensland. We haven't had a Queensland victory yet. As they head down the back straight, the challengers are coming though. Nathan Barbler is out in front, but here they come. Sam Brumfield is on the outside and Peter Herbert is on the inside. There's trouble further back. There's cars going every which way, but the green lights remain on. 4th place is the 64 of Jaden Blomley. Dale Riley Jr. is there in 5th place, and 82 of Shane Roycroft in 6th as they head out of turn 2 and down the back straight. Out in front, Nathan Barbler. 2nd place, Peter Herbert from WA. Sam Brumfield coming at a rate of knots there. Just missed the back end of Herbert. Right behind them is Blomley. Roycroft. Oh, trouble here for the 28 car of Dale Riley Jr. Something has gone drastically astray. I think he might have hit the fence and buckled the front right end as they head out of turn 3 and 4. We've got a race and a half on here. Peter Herbert trying to get underneath of our race leader, Nathan Barbler. On the outside is Sam Brumfield. The 3 of them locked together down into turn number 1, past the grandstand, and Peter Herbert from WA has hit the front. Sam Brumfield might go into 2nd. Barbler goes from chocolates to boiled lollies from 1st to 3rd in the matter of about 30 metres as they come underneath the time clock. 8 laps to go in heat number 20 of the national title, and it's Peter Herbert who does a 19.605. He's out in front from Sam Brumfield. Nathan Barbler 3rd. 4th place is Jaden Blomley, then Shane Roycroft. back to Daryl Atkinson in 6th. A long way back then to Darren Flatman, Chris Hay, James Dennis and Dale Blomley and Craig Clayton. In fact, Clayton has just gone past Blomley, but our race leader is Peter Herbert. Second place is Sam Brumfield. Herbert's just done a 19.5. The battle is on for third. On the outside is Roycroft. Splits up between and goes into third on the inside of the 88 of Barbara. And Blomley right there along with the 37 of Atkinson. Out in front though, Peter Herbert. The little town of Mount Barker in Western Australia, about 55, 60 kilometres north of Albany. Oh, Roycroft hits the fence, bounces off. Will have some damage to the right-hand side of the car. Continues on. Blomley goes into 4th in the meantime. The car further back in the field, stopped and propped in front of our race leader, but the race continues. Out of turn 4 they come. 8 down and 4 to go. It's Peter Herbert out in front. Brumfield in second place, 164. James Dennis has some issues. He's about to be besieged by the 82 of Shane Roycroft. Blomley there as well. And Daryl Atkinson passes him as Peter Herbert has 3 to go. He's opened up a commanding lead. Sam Brumfield back then to Barbara. Right behind Barbara is the 82 car of Roycroft. Atkinson, he comes underneath now as they head down the back straight. Our race leader, Peter Herbert, has got troubles with the back markers, believe it or not. Dale Blomley is one of those he hasn't been able to pass. So head down the back straight, he still has a commanding lead. The white flag will come out this time around with Peter Herbert stuck between some back markers. Passing flag is out, so too the white one. Brumfield in second, Barbara Roycroft, the 37 of Atkinson, and the 64 of Jaden Blomley. So move out of turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Put your hands together for him. Peter Herbert will take the double checker flag and a great drive. Peter Herbert first across the line. Second is Sam Brumfield. Nathan Barbara just got there in a blanket go with Shane Roycroft and Daryl Atkinson. Timing monitors showing that it's Darren Flatman in 6th. He's 7th. 6th place, I'm sure, is Jaden Blomley, unless he's a lap down. I don't think so. Then Chris Hay and Craig Clayton. Peter Herbert, the winner though, 4 minutes 4.77 for race number 20, or heat number 20, event 21.